Alrighty guys, we're back for some modded Jaxis, and this is a Streets of New Capenna standard build. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, because I do think this one's actually going to be pretty good. Either way, for anyone who does not know, I'm Redcat, and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you guys. Also, we do got that relatively new Discord. There is a link in the description if you're interested in joining that up. I highly recommend it. What do we got in the build here? We got 4 Fireblade Chargers, 4 Kumano faces Kakkazan, 4 Intrepid Adversary, 4 Luminarch Aspirants, 3 Kami's Flare, 4 Elite Spellbinders, 2 Maul of the Skyclaves, 3 Skyclave Apparitions, a single Legion Angel, as well as the 3 in the sideboard. We have 3 Jaxis, the Troublemakers, and 4 Thundering Raijus. In the mana base, we're rocking, excuse me guys, a Cave of the Frost Dragon, 2 Seed of Eiganjos, we got 2 Den of the Bugbears, and a single Crucible, as well as our dual land, no Snarls this time round. Okay, this one is a super basic Boros build, but it's different than the Boros that's running around out there right now, right? Everyone's rocking the Sunclave, is that the name of the card? Sunclave Cavalier or something like that? Either way, that's the version of Boros they're playing, so it's actually pretty fun to play different types of Boros, because then the opponent really doesn't know what they're up against. Now this one still rocks a lot of the same cards, because man, there's just a lot of great cards in Boros colors, how about it? But it has the keystone of Jaxis the Troublemaker here, so it's a 4-drop 2/3 legendary creature. You can pay a red source, tap it, discard a card, create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control. It gains haste, and when this creature dies, draw a card, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step, activate only as a sorcery, and then you can also blitz this down for only 2 mana, which is kind of insane, honestly. So everything in the deck is kind of based around, is it good to copy with Jaxis? And the answer for all these creatures are pretty much yes. It is pretty decent to copy any of these with Jaxis. For example, let's take a look at Intrepid Adversary here. If you had only just 5 mana, you have a Intrepid Adversary on the board, and it's the 5th turn, you happen to have your 5th mana on your 5th turn, you blitz out Jaxis, you copy the adversary, you pay 2 off the new copy and buff all of your creatures, and just swing on in with everything. So you guys could see how good copying an adversary could be if you plan on using its ability. Simple things like copying a Luminarch could be okay, as you get to plug those extra counters into the creatures that are actually going to stay on the board. Something that's overlooked with Jaxis often is the way it actually can cycle through your hand nicely, as when you get this down, it's going to, when you get this down with Blitz, it sacrifices itself, and when that happens, you draw a card, but then also the copied creature also does the same thing, and so you're kind of cycling through your hand in a sense with Jaxis as well. Of course, Fireblade Charger took the place of Hopeful Initiate, which is on our honorable mentions this time round, because not only does the training modify itself over time, but like this card is just amazing, because there's plenty of artifacts and enchantments that you actually want to hit with those extra counters. But because this is a Jaxis build, I went ahead and opted for the Fireblade Charger as our 1-drop choice this time round, but I don't know, we might end up regretting it. We'll see. Hopeful Initiate, honorable mention. And then, of course, those are our 3 Legion Angels. Anything else to go over here? Like, yeah, simple things like copying Elite Spellbinder to get that enters the battlefield ability again is just so good. I love the 2 Maul of the Skyclaves here, and I think it's going to put in a lot of work, because I like Maul of the Skyclaves whenever I'm running the 4 Intrepid Adversaries. Because if you ever play this on turn 2 as a 3/1 lifelink, a turn 3 Maul of the Skyclave into the adversary is just so good, because it's a 5/3 lifelink with flying and first strike, and you can just gain a ton of life on that 3rd turn and, you know, try to set up for a spicy Jaxis play or something. Of course, Legion Angel makes sense for best of 1 and all that other stuff that you hear people say about Legion Angel all the time. But also just copying it with Jaxis and flying in the air for more angel damage is really good. And I don't even have to go over why copying Thundering Raiju is good. It's almost the same concept as copying a Luminarch, getting those extra counters everywhere else, but with a ton of extra damage packed onto the card. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a simple one. I feel like I could probably stop going over it, but at the same time, there's something here. Skyclave Apparition. Okay. So, okay, I gotta sit up in my chair. This was a tough choice because I needed more removal in the deck, and so, but I also wanted something that worked with Jaxis. So Skyclave is an interesting one because we can copy it with the Jaxis and hit one of their most important cards, but then Jaxis's ability obviously sacrifices that creature at the end, and so the opponent will end up getting an illusion back, but I think that that will just be better than a Brutal Cathar, giving them whatever we took just back onto the board anyways, right? Like, if we took their own Elite Spellbinder, for example, with a Brutal Cathar, and then it sacrifices itself to the Jax's ability, they get the Elite Spellbinder back, they get to do that whole nonsense again, where if it's Skyclave Apparition, you get to clean up their board, swing on in, and they, instead of getting an Elite Spellbinder back to the board, they just get a 3/3 illusion instead. And so that's kind of the concept of the Apparition here. Okay, guys, I think I probably overdid it for such a simple deck, but either way, let's go ahead and take it into some ranked and see how it does. All right, we'll see if we can get right into the first match today. Well, okay then. Darn right, 1 second. That was really fast. Okay. Not a bad hand. I like it. I like it. Ton of stuff we can draw into. And a turn 2 Fireblade off of the Kumano is not bad. Had we drawn like a 3-drop there instead of the Raiju, we might have wanted to hold off the Kumano until the second turn. Luminarch with protection open. Let's see here. Right, so we can get this down. Let's start with the Fireblade Charger. Right, that's most likely a Snakeskin Veil. We'll actually get this down on red then. Okay, seeing Clever Lumimancer and the opponent went first there too, this is very scary, guys. This is very scary. Because we know just how aggressive this can be. It has to be a Snakeskin Veil, I doubt. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it, guys. If we can kill it now, we can kill it now. Maybe we can hit it next turn with the Kami's Flare. Okay, Snakeskin Veil. And land. No land. Okay, that's big for us, guys. That's pretty big. So we'll get the planes that we just drew. And I kind of want to keep the red source open. It doesn't matter at all, but you never know. They might think we have something then. Either way, we want to do that while they're tapped out for sure. Environmental Sciences. Okay. If it's like land into another Lumimancer, that's pretty bad. Okay, nothing. Nice. So Raiju can drop this turn. We could probably safely play this on red because we don't have a lot of white, and we still have the Seat of the Empire here too. So let's get the Raiju down. I guess I'll play this on white because we do have the Intrepid Adversary in the deck here, so you know, that requires a lot of white sources when you get it down later on. So that takes the etching, unfortunately, but we do have a lot of damage here still. Seat of the Empire should probably be played as a land. Actually, Skyclave gets back. Can hit the portable hole with the Skyclave and get the Luminarch down. That sounds really good, doesn't it? That sounds really good, but we'll see. They might just end up getting a 1/1 to block with. Charge through. Oh, they're drawing, I see. I was a little confused there. Let's see what they can draw, I guess. So they get pinged for 1 here. And get the Luminarch down. And we will buff the Luminarch. Swing on in, buff the Skyclave. Nice. Very nice. It's looking good, guys. They need a creature. Or they need something to start, like, swinging in. Yep, GG. It was that, it was the turn that we were actually able to remove their Lumimancer safely. That's what did it, for sure. Good first match. We got a bunch of powerful cards just packed into the deck, so it's kind of what you expect. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not really sure what ranked has looked like recently, because about, like, the last week or so, we've been playing in normal play mode, which has been a ton of fun. Okay. The 2 land is sketchy, but we do have 24 total land in here, so it's not like we won't see it in a few turns. There we go. That's good. Alright. It's going to be a turn 2 Kumano this time around, I think. Although this could be like a yeah. Maybe it was turn 1 Kumano since they had an open mountain. But at the same time, I do like, well, yeah. Since it is like, okay, we're up against the other Boros build, the official Boros build, if you will, right? I'm not going to remove the Bloodthirsty Adversary just yet, because if they end up going Raiju on turn 4, and they don't plug a counter into the Raiju, then Kami's Flare can handle that. Similarly, yeah, similar with the Sunrise Cavalier. Did I say the right name earlier? Not 100% certain. So, unfortunately, well, Skyclave, yeah. Yeah, Skyclave is actually pretty good here, unless they remove it right away. Because what happens is it gets a counter, and I don't mind blocking into the adversary. It's a little weird not going Spellbinder this turn to make sure that their burn doesn't hit the apparition, but I also don't mind this line of play either. Well, well, we knew burn was a possibility there. Oh, another adversary. Swinging for 4. Okay. Yeah, red source would have been good, but, you know, I mean, Elite Spellbinder can check whatever's left in their hand. If it is a Raiju, we can take it out of commission, and it blocks well into the 3/3 that we gave them. We have a good hand. We have a great hand. The problem is, yeah, when the other Boros deck runs a ton of removal, it can easily match all of these creatures. Easily take care of all of them. So this is a sorcery, and we definitely take all the trades we can get. Because we are on the run, and the opponent went first too. Den of the Bugbear is so bad. Could probably keep Kami's Flare open for that. I'm surprised they just didn't decide to Royal Eruption this turn, because they're getting so close. If they did, we would have been at 4, and then they could power up Den next turn. This at least trades into the Den. Well, because I really don't want to trade Luminarch into the Den, do I? Pretty bad. Not having the double red to just be able to play, well... This is pretty bad, isn't it? Let's get the Luminarch down. As a blocker, unfortunately. Let's get the Kumano faces Kakkazan down. It's looking pretty good for the opponent. However, if they end up using the Royal as removal, then they don't get to power up the Den, which I don't know what would be better for them. Really comes down to what they're going to be top decking too. Like, drawing a land and going into Legion Angel could be beautiful for us. We're getting dangerously low. Oh boy, that is not a land, but it's actually a great card to draw here. As long as they don't just have burn in hand. Yeah, we need that other red source so we can use our removal too. Or just a land in general at this point. I'm actually surprised. Yep, power up Den. So this is a great block for us. We're taking 3, but we get to take out their Den and their Bloodthirsty Adversary. So you guys can see why having that extra removal open that turn would have been really good, because we just wouldn't have really taken anything, and we would have got some extra damage in. Okay, we got that land. Woo, buddy. Okay, it is comeback season. So we can actually check to make sure that's not burn in their hand. Well, even if we make it more expensive, they have plenty of mana to just go ahead and burn our face anyways. So we're going to go Legion Angel here and see if we can start to take over the skies. No attacks because we don't know what's coming for our face. Very tough uphill battle, guys. You know what, though? I'm thinking this might have been a little bit different had we gone first. Just a little bit, though. They definitely had the removal required. Just the amazing cards required here as well. Oh, down to 1. Down to 1. Come on, guys. You know what would be good, actually? The lifelink on our adversary, huh? Look at that. Dang, I really wonder what they're gonna draw and everything too. Could remove that if we wanted. I don't know, like, what the odds of them drawing something that actually just wins the game it actually is. So we're actually not gonna swing here, which might be a mistake. Yeah, because now it comes down to the question of, are they going to draw that last bit of damage? So even if they were holding back a hasty creature in hopes of drawing another hasty creature, right, so now this turn we can start swinging with this adversary and hopefully gaining some life here. And Raiju's a great draw. We can plug a counter into that adversary. There it is, guys. Let's go. Really? Dude, they were so close. I would have never conceded there. I guess they were looking at the lifelink on that adversary and saying, I can't keep up with it. So we got a little bit lucky there, didn't we? That was sweet. Hopefully we get to see Jaxis, kind of the main reason I put this deck together. But, you know, I am only running 3, so... That was insane, and that would have been a perfect example, like how we drew the Raiju there. If we did draw Jaxis, then we would be able to copy that adversary and just, like, really, really get our life back. That was insane, guys. Holy cow. Okay. Turn 1, Kumano. And depending on the color that they play here, we probably just play Luminarch. Okay, green. Yeah, Luminarch. Pretty good. Pretty good overall. Elite Spellbinder gets to take a look-see at what they got. And a Kumano. Okay. Let's take a look-see here. Yeah, let's do that. What you got in here, opponent? Old Growth, Blizzard Brawl, Old Growth. Pretty good cards, opponent, honestly. Let's get rid of the Blizzard Brawl, make that a bit more expensive on you, huh? And let's get a big swing here because like we could plug it into the Spellbinder and try to get it over the next couple turns, get it above the range of a Blizzard Brawl from an old growth. And also we get to like fly in with that too, so like, but a land draw would be really good too, so. Couple decisions. Do we just want to fly in the air? Let's start with Kumano. And I think it's going to be safe to play one of the adversaries this turn, because the opponent's getting dangerously low, although Fireblade Charger could be good too. So now it comes down to, if we draw our 4th land, we just buff everything with adversary in full swing. And so like their Blizzard Brawl for 3 is actually terrible, because it really puts them behind like a whole turn just to kill one creature. See, I think grabbing the Blizzard Brawl was the right move. Oh, they get more. They get more there. No land this time round. That's okay. That's okay. We're getting there. 1, 2. We could actually just... Okay. So we're going to lead with Kumano. We cannot lose the Luminarch right now, as that's what's keeping us in the race against green creatures. So if we go into the etching, any blocks here on the etching is actually just pretty good for us. But I'd rather wait for a full swing. We got no attacks, and we're going to get the Fireblade down. It's kind of like, yeah, we're kind of waiting for that 4th, so that way we can buff the board, and I think green locked us down a little bit here. Oh, that is so bad. Whew. Woo. Okay, the good news is we're almost there. Reach, vigilance, nice, nice. The reach was smart. The reach was very, very smart. Okay. So yeah, we have some problems, guys, where we need our 4th mana again. So that's going to be something to bring up in the final thoughts. However, I would not go up to 25 land in a Boros Aggro. You know, I think it's just one of those things we're not seeing the 4th land easily right now. So yeah, I mean, look at these chunky creatures they're going to be able to get down, guys. They locked us down pretty well here. We need to be able to buff everything. I think starting to buff the Fireblade Charger is going to be pretty smart, because they're so low that at this point, yeah, we're not going to play anything, guys. At this point, the Charger might be the final bit of damage that we need to get through. If we can get the Charger up to 7, if we can lock down the board for that long, or just survive for that long, yeah, get everything down. Let's go. This is a game of magic, guys. You like to see it. Swing with the vigilance, and that is no blocks. We're going to take the 4 this time. Come on, land. Oh my goodness. Another adversary. That's great, because our adversaries can actually double block pretty well. And I think even though the opponent just has an amazing locked down board here, we can just outpace them with this Luminarch. Don't forget they could power up Lair, and if they top deck a Blizzard Brawl, then that Luminarch is a goner. And so, need to figure out how to get this last bit of damage through. Gotta get that land, because then we can drop the Raiju, and then plug everything into the Charger. We get a full swing. So they're gonna start to buff their own creature here. We could double block with the Intrepid Adversaries, gain 6 and kill this. Since we're looking for a land anyways, we might as well take this out. Gaining 6 life is pretty good, and we get rid of their chunkiest creature for now. Yeah, we're just looking for the land for the Raiju at this point. Okay, Kami's Flare is... So they're going to have to start chumping the Fireblade Charger now. Unless they don't chump it and they kill it instead, then the Kami's Flare could end the game. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. I really think they chump this. Start whittling down this board then. Okay. So that happens. We Kami's Flare. We'll take out the pack leader so they don't draw too much. Down to 5. Fireblade Charger dies and we ping 5 to face. There it is, guys. We found it. Who needs the 4th land? Who needs it? Good game, opponent. Very good game. Well, 3 victories in a row over here in Platinum. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see if we can keep up the pace. I'm pretty satisfied, though. Those were pretty good games, weren't they, man? Like, that was awesome, actually. Just thinking back on them. Hopefully, we can figure out how to draw a 4th land, though. It's gonna be relatively important when we have all of these 4 drops in the deck. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table? Okay, it's not a bad hand. We're starting with 3, which probably means we can draw into our 4th. We could safely get Sundown Pass down on the first turn. Den of the Bugbear. Probably means Luminarch just dies to some burn. I don't really want that to happen, and a turn 3 Maul the Skyclaves is pretty good on an adversary. I'd rather them kill the adversary than the Luminarch. As we saw last game, the Luminarch carries games. When paired with other creatures, of course. Yeah, play with fire. Yeah, it's okay. We were expecting that. Some Gruul. Whoa, some werewolves. Okay. Hey, Jaxis, finally. Let's go ahead and get this down on red. And now we'll start buffing the Luminarch. Even though the adversary is still really good with the Maul, we go Luminarch here because we know that we need to get over top of their werewolves now. And so starting to get benefits from the counters is probably going to be pretty important. So they don't know what this is. They end up not swinging. Goes to nighttime. Elite Spellbinder, pretty good draw. Could actually Maul the Skyclave here too for a big swing in the air. But I think we might want to see what's in their hand. How do you guys feel about that? You gotta be careful with the Frenzied Trap Breaker too. Whenever it attacks, you get to destroy. Wow! An inscription to take out the Luminarch. I actually really like that. Let's take the Ava Bruck out of this game. I know the Liberator could be a good hit. They can play it for 4 next turn. But I'm pretty sure we want that to cost 8 mana instead of 6 mana. But yeah, you got to be careful with this. Whenever it attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. It can just gobble up your stuff. Actually, this is a great block for us, isn't it? Maybe not. Let's take the 3. Because we have the Raiju in hand. Oh, pack leader, great draw. Really great draw. And they send it back to daytime, surprisingly. Wow. They probably trade into the Raiju. Intrepid Adversary is pretty good too. What Intrepid Adversary lets us do here is get a swing in the air, and we know they don't have removal right now. While they do get a full swing and a draw off the pack leader, it sets us up for a crazy next turn where we can get that Raiju down, or worst comes to worst, we get, like, if we lose too much life, we drop the Jaxis, copy the adversary, and full swing for some lifelink. And if we draw a land, then it gets insane because we can also buff that adversary as well. And we might just end up winning at that point, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. They power up Den. Huge swing from the opponent here. No, they only swing. Oh, okay, okay. I thought for certain that they were going to go ahead and swing with everything. But that's actually really smart. The opponent definitely knows what they're doing. But we gain a ton of life here from the adversary, so sending it back to nighttime. Another Maul of the Skyclaves. You know what, man? Like, yeah, they can take out the Maul when they attack with the Trap Breaker, but swinging for 10 in the air and gaining 6 life? I mean, like, do we really want to pass that up? Probably not. Probably not. Let's do this. I don't think we die, because they would need 21 damage in 1 turn. So yeah, they get to take the Maul, but like whatever, you know? We have another Maul, and we have tons of ways to get this last bit of damage through, so they really need something here. And if they end up powering up Den for a full swing, then Thundering Raiju comes swinging on in. So getting rid of the Maul. They do get a draw here. 6 mana open. See, taking that Caretaker away was huge. Having that just become more expensive, so that way it kind of takes it out of the game. It's 9 damage. We know an Inscription is in their deck, probably. They usually run 2 Inscriptions. If they go Inscription, we do gain 4 here, but they actually go back up to 11. Yeah. Okay. Great plays from the opponent. This is exciting, guys. I don't know. I really like our build here, too. So Thundering Raiju does not get that damage through. And we're really struggling with mana today. But we can get Jaxis down with and play a Kumano. Copy the Elite Spellbinder. We might die next turn if we do that. Unless we keep the original Elite Spellbinder back and just swing. Yeah, the life gain here really, really helps them. We have 6. Not seeing a land is not an issue right now, I guess, because we don't have the adversary anymore. So let's do this. Jaxis. And then we're going to copy the Spellbinder. And we're going to discard the Maul this time round. Okay, it's just a pack leader. It's just a pack leader. So we're at 14 right now. We're at 14. They have 11, and then the Den. Okay, we're not dead unless they draw something amazing. So the Frenzied Trap Breaker unfortunately hits the Kumano, but we still play it this turn, literally just for the 1 damage. We're about to draw 2 cards too. Jaxis, nice. Yeah, we're not dead unless they draw exactly what they need here. Oh, good. Oh, that's right. We played 2 cards, so it's back to daytime. Oh, man. That's hard to keep track of sometimes. The power-up Den. Nice. Full swing, but that's going to be not great for them. We know they have Crucible. They can't play this. They get to draw here, though. So that's 13, guys. That is 13. Did they draw the 1 damage that they need? I'm going to bank on no, and let's just win next turn. Sound good, guys? Ow. They didn't draw it. They didn't draw it. They're gonna kill Kumano. Okay. Let's drop that Raiju. And get this victory. There it is, guys. Let's go. 4 victories in a row against some pretty tough decks. Holy cow. Yeah. Not bad at all. Let's go ahead and get one more game in. Win or lose, I am really, really satisfied right now. Yeah, there's just so many great ways to build Boros, and like there's just so many great cards that work well together in Boros. And so, yeah, this is sick. And the matches have been really fun too, so I literally couldn't be happier. Turn 1 Charger into Cave. We are struggling with mana for some reason though, so I will talk a bit about that in the final thoughts. Because, like, there are moments where we're like, okay, yeah, let's just get that 4th mana. Let's do it. And then we don't get there for some reason, and then we're like, okay, it's fine. We'll try to win with 3. But then also there's moments where we want 5 mana too, and so, you know, actually be able to play 2 cards in 1 turn or something. And so, like, yeah, I don't know. Weird. And the second red source is actually slowing us down quite a bit here too. And that happened in the first match too. So yeah, I have a lot to talk about with the mana base and the final thoughts. Excuse me, guys. I mean, Raiju probably gets countered, but we can go Jaxis, copy Charger, copy Luminarch could be good. Plug everything into, well, just swinging with Jaxis could be good too. But we kind of want to filter through this Apparition. Look for more cards that deal damage. How do you guys feel about blitzing Jaxis, ditching the Apparition? Because we know that Raiju is probably going to eat some form of counter here, as this looks like control right out the gate. Just like keeping these mana open tells us. So see, Jaxis actually hits, which is really good. So we can copy Luminarch just to buff the Charger even more. Or we can copy Charger for some extra damage through when it dies. It's an extra 2. Because I think copying Charger is better because against Izzet they have like potential Fading Hopes and stuff. And so Fading Hope on something with counters already is like... So... yeah, so if I copy the Luminarch, okay, so this time we're actually going to plug it into the Luminarch. A little bit awkward. We're trying to play around control. Because of like potential Fading Hopes and stuff. Oh. Hold up, I gotta read that. Anyways, so Jaxis and then an extra damage off the Charger. It's pretty good. I like it. This would have been a huge swing for us if they didn't tap this down. We get to restock our hand a little bit. Tap target creature. Its controller mills 2 cards. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step and draw a card. Oh, okay. Okay, actually that does a lot. That does a ton of stuff. Yeah, not taking that 3 damage there could be exactly what the opponent needs to, you know, get to the point where, because now they're not taking 3 next turn either. Yeah, not untapping this is actually really bad. Okay, this is some Izzet mill, but it looks a little different than what we're used to. Can safely get Raiju down now. And a Charger. No, we can't. We don't have 3 red sources, which is actually really funny. Yep, it's Raiju. There's no question in my mind. We don't want to do anything else here. Kind of spread this out a little bit because we can't get any of our creatures above a burn down the house anyways, and if it is a burn, then the Charger hits the last 3, and so yeah. Yeah, the opponent needs to pull off some really fancy tricks here. Expressive Iteration is probably not going to do it, guys. We might get there. We'll see what they hit. Because they're looking for answers, and I mean, look at our board. Like, Fireblade Charger, just, yeah, putting in so much work. GG opponent, 100% win rate over here in ranked. 5 wins in a row, and we ranked up. Nice. Platinum tier 3. I would definitely use this deck to rank up. I think it is good enough, but there's something weird about the mana, right? Like, it's actually, like, pretty greedy or something. Let's go over it again real quick. Modded Jaxis. I think, man, Jaxis is so underplayed. It's so good, guys. It does so much. The way it filters through our hand, too, like, that's completely an overlooked aspect of Jaxis. Fireblade Charger, we didn't regret not having Hopeful Initiate in here at all, because Fireblade Charger just wins games, and the deck knows how to pile so much damage through that in the long run, if the opponent only can block the Charger, then Charger just wins the game anyways. Intrepid Adversary was amazing, worth the 4 of. We didn't get to see it combo with Jaxis at all, but you guys can see the power in that. Maul the Skyclaves was pretty good, and again, same concept. Maul the Skyclaves with Intrepid Adversary is just so powerful, like against that mono green build, gaining all that life in it. No, was it the mono green? Either way, we gained a lot of life in one of those matches by swinging in the air. Oh, it was the werewolf build, I believe. Elite Spellbinder did wonders. Skyclave, we didn't get to see that much, did we? But in that last match, we did get to see how going up against control, filtering that Skyclave into the grave off the Jaxis is just really good. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything except the mana base seems pretty greedy for some reason. We got a 50-50 split here, and so we have a 50-50 split in the mana base too. Maybe I just was getting a little unlucky. It sure didn't look like there was anything unlucky about those matches, because overall, the deck did really good, but there were like so many moments where we were like, oh, we need another red source if we want to do that too. And so we could drop a plains, drop a mountain, and maybe go up a couple more dual land, a couple snarls. Maybe the snarls are going to come out tapped often. So, I mean, you might want to reconsider some of the seats, the crucibles, if you do go up any snarls for the mana base. But then, yeah, the 24 land should be enough, because the average is 2.5. You always want to see 3 for sure, but then there's going to be plenty of matches where you need that 4th mana, and I really wouldn't go up to 25 mana. If you do anything, add like a Kabira Takedown or a Kazul's Fury or something that doubles as land, a Spikefield Hazard, and maybe drop something else. That's the only thing I would consider doing, like something else that doubles as a land. Like you might be able to drop a Raiju and go up like even a Shatterskull Smashing, but you don't have too much mana in here to make Shatterskull worth it probably. So just one of those random lands that could be good. And then yeah, maybe some more dual land of some kind, even if it's just like one of the dual lands that comes down and gains you a life. There's just something greedy, like the double red on the Raiju, the double white on the Apparition. Yeah, and it's like to actually blitz out Jaxis properly, it requires the red for the blitz and the red for the ability too. Double white on the Legion Angel. I guess now that I'm looking at it, it's pretty obvious that the mana is greedy, isn't it? But yeah, think about more dual lands as well. Either way, guys, if you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions, and I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.